Welcome to Uncommon Pilates. Today I'm going to share with you a series I did during COVID involving a ball, a big exercise ball. This one's 65 inch, 55 inch, whatever exercise ball you have around the house. Grab it and join me, and we'll get some core work going and moving and feeling good.
There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. A beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true.
Apart here, my ball in front of me. We're going to go into our cat camel here, so we're tuck and arch basically. So I'll turn this way so you can see my balls in front of me. And I'm just going to reach out, get a nice little spine stretch here. And then use your belly and roll it back in and up. And then do that again. Reach your hips back. Nice little stretch and then curl it back in. If you've done reformer work with me, it's as if we were on the edge of the reformer, pushing the box or the carriage out and then curl it back in. Oftentimes we would have started with that. And reach and curl. So just a nice little wave through the body. You can bend those knees, stretch, and curl it in. So that hollowness in the belly is really important. So you don't want to just pop up. I want you to really pull like you're a snake. Now we're going to take that into a circle. So reach it around and pull it in. So it's not big. Take your ball more to the front of the left foot than to the right. You may have to adjust at times, but it's really about the spine. Circle around, curl it under, and reach. Like I said, you can do this on your knees or seated on a chair or an ottoman, around. Or come onto your hands and knees. We're going to reverse it. Come onto your hands and knees and just do this as we've done before on your hands and knees. Around. Hollow in the middle, curl. Here's your arch. Stretch it forward and curl it home. Lengthen and curl. Let's go for one more. Reach and curl. From here, we're going to stretch it back out into a nice long spine. Hang out here for a moment. Just breathing, so it's a nice flat back here, nice long spine, and then just the pelvis, you're just going to curl it under and release, like a little tuck and arch, curl, and release. So you're really stretching out. It's early in the morning here, so you're really stretching out your lower back and waking up those abdominal muscles to help you without having to do a crunch right now. Two more. And then slowly roll all the way back up. You're going to side to side with the ball. So you're just going to bend one knee and then the other, so I'll turn around. You're going to go side to side with the ball, or just have your hands on your hips, your choice. Just waking up those hips a little bit more. Push, pull, push, pull. So I'm pushing my weight over to the bent knee and then propelling myself back. Let's go for 4. Again, kind of warming it up. 3. Anchor through those feet. 2. Waking up those hips. 1. Come back to the center. Keep your legs wide if you can. We're going to go into kind of a variation of saw with the ball here. So I'm going to take my left hand on the ball, and I'm going to bend my right knee and reach across. And then come back and switch. So bend your left knee, reach across, and switch. It's a little more of a flat back here, whereas if you're seated, it's a little bit more of a rounded spine. Flex at the hips and reach. Inhale, pull the belly in and come back. Push through the foot to bring you back up. Reach. Now you can take your legs as wide as is comfortable on your inner thighs. And you can reach across as much as your waist will allow. You don't want this hip to come back. You want to keep it. You don't want it to come with you. You want to keep it back. And reach onto the up to the front diagonal. Stretch. And reach. And one more each here. Reach across, bend that knee, get a nice little stretch on this other side, and reach across. And come back. Walk your feet in. We're going to sit on our ball. And if you don't have a ball, you're just going to sit on the floor. And we're going to go into some a roll down, if you will, on the ball. So we're going to scoop our bellies, just like we've been doing. And we're going to walk on out just a bit. Roll just till your bottom tips of your shoulder blades touch the ball. Then exhale, scoop, reach. This mat is too slippery. And come back up. That's why I like the purple one. All right, so feet are out in front of you. Let's try that again. Little scoop of the belly, roll down. Inhale. Exhale, scoop and come up. Now where you put your feet is really, you may have to walk them out a little bit, but you want to attempt to keep your feet right where they're at and get to that point of the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. We have done versions where you walk out with your feet. This one we're anchoring them. Exhale, scoop. And roll just to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. If you're, like I said, if you're seated, you don't have the ball, you're seated on the floor, you roll down to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and then slowly come back up. So kind of a 3/4 roll down. So we don't go from the head all the way back. We want to keep this curl so we can really emphasize right here, pulling us up instead of our neck. Inhale at the top. If you feel like you're losing your ball, just adjust. Scoop. Exhale to come back up. Inhale at the top. 2 more like this. Exhale, scoop from the abdomen, but keeping those knees aligned so like you have a ball in between, another ball. So I'm actively working my inner thighs to make sure that my legs are stable so that my torso, my core can do its job and then come back up. From here, we're going to take our hands to our forehead. Legs are grounded. We're going to twist to your right. Inhale, center, exhale, twist to the left. Just waking up those obliques, twist. Because in a moment, we'll be doing our ab work on the ball or on the floor if you don't have one. And twist. Go only where you can at the moment. Still early. And rotate. My hips stay in the center. My shoulders try to relax, although when your arms are up, the shoulders are going to come up a little bit. You just don't want them up into your ears. Last one each. Inhale through the center. Exhale the air out. Back to the center. Release your arms. We're going to roll on out again. I'm going to turn this on the angle so you can see better. And so I have a grip. So you're going to walk on out again to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Back is supported by the ball. However, if this feels like it's too much on your back, you can either drop your hips more so that your center of gravity now becomes your rib cage, and then you won't be going as far. You won't be so flat. You'll be more upright. And if you need more than that, you can propel yourself further back. So choose one of those spots that feels comfortable for your back, but make sure that your back is supported, unless you're more upright. But even still, my pelvis is against the wall. So from there, choose whichever spot. And if you're on the floor, you're just going to have your knees bent. You're going to lean back. Exhale, do our little crunches. Exhale, curl forward. So either come from neutral or from flat up if you're on the floor. If you're on the ball, see if you can go from extension to basically a neutral position, or you would just come a little extension again back to neutral. So whichever one feels right for you. We'll go for about 6 more of these. Inhale, exhale. Elbows can be in slightly. Use the abdomen to bring you up, but don't completely let it go when you go back. 3 more. Knees are anchored so that they align with your hips. And then we're going to go right into our twist today. So exhale, hold it here. We're going to twist and twist. Keep your hips in the center. Upper torso is what's rotating. Breathe. I like to breathe for one rotation and exhale the other. But you can certainly do this for where you breathe, inhale both sides, exhale both sides. So alternating. Let's go for 2 more twists. Back to the center, reach your arms forward. Exhale, if you're on a ball, scoop and come up. If you're on the floor, just lie back down for a moment. Hold it here and just do a little pelvic circle or pelvic clock. So if you're on the mat, you would just roll those hips around in a pelvic clock face. And then reverse. I'm sliding off my ball here. One more time. Back to the center from here. Scoop the belly. We're going to go once again. Walk on out. Place your hands behind the head. We got one more set of these. So find your spot. Okay, either more extension or less extension coming closer to your feet. You're going to inhale. We'll only go for about 5 and 5. So exhale. Just building up some endurance here and some strength so that you can feel and turn on when we go for our balance stuff, our standing stuff, our abs a little deeper, so you have a really good feeling of what that means to pull it in. Oh, let's go for one more. I know I said 5, but hold it here. Twist and twist. Keep this sense. Twist and twist. Keep it going. Nice little scoop of the belly, but it's small. I'm not gripping my glutes. Let's go for 2 more each. Feel those obliques working. Come back to the center, reach your arms out, or lie back down, scoop on up if you're on the, and just breathe here. Roll those shoulders up, back and around if you're on your back into a seated position, and just circle those shoulders. Preparing them for some movements with the ball in your arms. One more circle, and reverse the direction around. 2, 3. Really squeeze them together in the back, lift and around. So it's not just this small little movement, but a real exaggeration. Up and around. So for 2 more of these, get real juicy without any tension, without any gripping or anything, and release. Now I'm going to get rid of my big ball here. That stays. And I'm going to grab my smaller ball, or if you are not going to use a ball, actually I might fold this in half here and see if that works for me. Actually, if y'all can see okay, I'm going to use the purple mat because it's better grip. So we're going to start holding on to our ball here. Make sure you have space a little on either side. And we're going to start with our feet about hip width apart. Just a comfortable, a little wider than comfort zone. So not too narrow, just a little wider. We're going to hold on to our ball or our prop or no props. You're going to bend your knees, send the arms up, and then bring it down. So just a little squat here. Stretch and bring it in. So if you don't have a ball, that's fine. Just stretch your arms up and squeeze and bring it in. Inhale, exhale. Now emphasize that belly to the spine and the hips gently forward just a bit as you bring that ball in. So sit back. Woo, that was a little too much. And then pull it in like you're going to press them towards each other. Squeeze. So feel the glutes squeeze. And send your weight back like you're going to sit into a chair. So you do have to shift your torso forward, not a wall squat. Knees track over the second toe. Keep that breath going. Let's go for 4 more if we can. This time, we're going to come up. Hold it here. We'll stretch our arms straight up to the ceiling and go for a side bend. And over to the other side. And then over. Use your waist to support you, especially on the way up here. I'm lifting through my belly. Last one each. But the weight of the ball adds to the challenge. And then bring those arms in. From here, we're going to step. Make sure you have space behind you and step a little further forward. You're going to step your left leg back and your arms out in front of you. Little squat, and then come back in. So lean it back like a little single leg lunge here. Stretch the arms out, or get rid of the ball, or even just hold the ball in. That will also help you to add a little extra tension to this without having to, stress your shoulders too much. So we're going to keep going back, squat and in, stretch it out, And pull it. Inhale. Now how far back you go is really up to you, but find your balance where you can push off, engage those glutes. Make sure you're squeezing the front glute. Reach it out, pull it in. We're going to change it slightly. So as we take our left leg back, we're going to pull it in. We're going to stretch it and stay on the left side and pull it in. So stay on this left side. I never know where to go here. Pull it in. Stretch it out. Pull it in. So slow your pace down. Stretch it out. Pull it in. If you want a change, lift the arms up and lower back down. Lift them up. We're going to go for 3 more. It's a bad one. Lift belly to the spine. Inhale, exhale. So even on my inhale, I'm stretching long. Now hold it up here. Hold it up here for 5 more. 4, you can bring the arms down if you need. 3, 2, 1. Now if you need to, just touch your toe down. The next things we're going to do, or stay on this left side for a little longer, we're going to step behind us like a little curtsy and then bring it back in, either toe tap or even lift it up. So without the ball, you're going to step back on the slight diagonal, which we've done before, and then bring it either to the toe tap or lift the knee. So reach it back, squat a little bit, push through this right leg, and bring the left leg up. So just slightly off balance. Now the arms, if you wish to lift them, as you go back, you're going to reach across, and as you bring the leg up, you're going to twist to the other side. So you're going to reach across and twist. As the leg goes back to the right, my ball goes to the right, knee comes in, ball goes to the left. So rotation here. Think of single leg stretch with a twist, or some people call it crisscross. Let's go for 4 more if we can. A lot of weight on this right leg. So take your time, do it without the ball if you want, or any props. Use those obliques. Last 2. Little sit. So don't be afraid to really get into it. Sit here, because that's where you need the power to engage that glute, especially the right glute right here. Let's hold again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that leg down. Before we go to the other side, let's just do 1 or 2 of these little tuck and arch, a stretch, curl it back in. Do that with your ball, or just hands on your hips and curl it back in. Inhale, and then exhale. So picking up your ball, if you're choosing to use that, we're going to take your right leg back, little squat, and bring it in and up. Reach it back, and in and up. And you can stretch your arms out in front of you and pull them in, or just hold the ball, or you can stretch the arms up. Your choice. And lift. Getting this left leg comfortable with this. And we're going to hold that right leg up. We'll stay for 5, 4, bellies in, 3, ribs down, 2, 1. Now we're going to take this right leg. You're going to step it to the left. And then you're either going to tap the toe, or you're going to bring it in and the arms across. Reach across, squat. Bring it in and twist. Reach across, squat. Bring it in and twist. Reach, squat. Get low. Be mindful of your knees, of course. Push off. Finding that balance. But I so often just trip over my own feet, especially when I'm not exercising. I think this kind of work really helps me to not have so many trips and falls. Lots of embarrassing moments, but no major injuries. So as I'm bringing the ball across, I'm pulling in as if I was going to do that little twist and crunch. Let's 2 more. Last 1. Let's hold it up again for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Bring the legs together. We're going to bend our knees and just a little pulse here. Holding the ball. And you can even squeeze on this ball here. Squeeze in. Squeeze in. Keep it going. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let's go for 5 more. Squeeze 4, 3, 2, and 1. From there, we're going to go ahead and come on down. This is where I like my bigger ball again. So it is nice to have 2 different ones. I never thought that would be so nice. But so we're going to come onto our ball, and I think the best visual will be me here. We're going to draw that ball into your belly. Now, if you don't have a ball, just come onto your hands and knees. So ball to the belly, and as I do that, I'm really trying to create space here and come over. I think we did these a couple weeks ago. You're just going to come onto over your ball, knees bent. Now, for some of you, so like I said, this ball is a little big, which I like. But for some of you, your knees may be touching the floor, and that's totally fine. As long as you're supporting your back with your ball and there's no tension. You should actually feel like you're lengthening here instead of gripping. If you're gripping, your ball is probably underinflated or just too small for you. So get rid of it and just go to hands and knees. Okay, so from here, you're just going to rock back and forth. Put a little pressure to the hands, a little pressure to the feet. Just taking a moment to make sure you're in a good spot and you're able to deal with the transfer of weight, because then we're going to hold it here, bellies to our spine just a bit. You're going to extend opposite arm and leg and bring it in and switch. So light, if you are on the ball, I'm kind of light on my opposite arm and leg, whereas if I'm on the mat, just hands and knees, I have to put some pressure into the opposition arm and leg, the ones that aren't lifting. So just alternating sides. Long back of the neck, don't let yourself hang. Lift it back up so you feel the back of your shoulders widening. And breathe. Exhale. Let's go for 1 more each. Really try to lengthen that back thigh. Hold it here. If you're on the ball, actually everybody will walk their hands out a bit in front of your body. If you're on your knees, you'll walk them out a little bit in front of your shoulders. And then you're just going to shift your weight forward, lean into it, and then push back. So if you're on the ball, you actually get to propel your weight over and let those feet lift. If you're not on the ball, you'll just bend the elbows and shift your weight into your hands with your knees still on the ground. You'll feel your hips lift or your buttocks lift a little bit, but your knees will still be there. And shift. Like a little push-up. And actually, if you prefer, if you're not using the ball, if you want to just do a push-up, feel free. Let's go for 4 more. Lean into it. Get your weight over is what I want you to feel, that transfer of weight into the arms, and then the push away. Lean into it, push away. Last one, lean into it, and then push away from there. If you don't have a ball and you're on a mat, you can sit back on your heels like in a child's pose. If you're on the ball, you're going to come to a spot where you feel comfortable, knees bent, and the pelvis is just kind of hanging down. You're going to have your hands on your ball if you're using that. If not, you're just going to have your hands to your left hand to your forehead. And everyone's actually going to take their left hand to the forehead, right hand on the ball or the floor, and you're going to lift and twist. So a little extension, lift and twist. Exhale. Look under the left armpit and shoulder. So we're just breaking right here at the upper torso, not the lower back. So if you feel the lower back, you've probably gone, put yourself in a odd position or come up too high. You need to adjust or put something underneath your belly. Let's go for 5 more if we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, come back and switch. So you can either do this you're doing it on the hands and knees, it's either here or back here. And then if it's on the ball, let's go to the other side. So left hand holds the ball, or even to the floor if you need more support, right hand to the forehead, and then you're gonna twist. Legs, lower body, just stable. We'll go for 10 of these. So 3, if you started when I started, 4, just looking to the right, So really, it's like that right shoulder is peeling off, and my head's going along for the ride. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3. Not huge. 4. Release. Let the head hang. Again, you can rock back and forth. From here, choices. You can go into a plank on the mat. You can go into a plank using the ball. Make sure if you are going to use the ball, our thighs are going to end up on the ball, thighs, knees, or even toes. Those are your levels. And our hands are going to come on out. So you're going to walk on out, hands under the shoulders, or if you have shoulder issues, maybe try them a little bit in front of you, and we're going to hold it here. Now, this is the first level, pressing your thighs down, lifting your belly up. We kind of ran out of room here. The next level would be to have your knees or your ankles, not your ankles, your shins on the ball. So we're going to hold this here. I'm going to come back. There we go. We're going to hold this here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And relax, sit back in child's pose or sit on the ball for a moment, scooping that belly. Checking in. If you didn't like the way you did it, switch positions, either on the floor, because we're going to go back into that ball, and we're going to pull our knees into our chest, as if we were doing kind of a double leg stretch, but stabilizing our arms. So the way you would do it on the floor is you would come into a plank position. We'll just do one leg in to the armpit. If you're doing it on the ball, we're going to bring both legs in. So make sure you have enough space. So you can start at your thighs. Actually, if you are on your thighs, you're not going to want to do this on the ball because you won't be able to go anywhere. So you got to be in the position of being able to do this on your ankles. And then you're going to exhale, pull it in. And then stretch it back out. And then exhale, pull it in. One or both knees, or just hold your plank. That's totally an option. Exhale. This is all optional. I will not know if that's your concern. Press into the ball if you are using it. If you're not, and you're pulling one knee to your chest, anchor those 3 limbs a little deeper as you pull one leg in. Remember, always opposition. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's go for 3 more if we can. Exhale, pull it in. Nice and slow and controlled. 2. Push down through those arms. Last 1, 3. And rest. Take a couple breaths. Breathe. Roll those shoulders up, back, and around. Now, if you don't have a ball, you'll lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat. If you have a ball, we're going to stretch that out on the ball. So seated on the ball, you're going to roll it out. We're going to get our heads on the ball. Okay. Heads on the ball, lifting those hips. You have a nice plank or table position. We're going to alternate those arms, reach one arm back and the other. So we're going for some extension here. You can certainly do this seated on the floor, ball behind you, as long as the ball's up against the wall. And you can do that as well. Breathe, inhale and exhale. Keep those hips lifted, knees are parallel. Circle those arms up and around. If you're on the floor, you're just keeping your hips down and circling those arms. One more this direction. We are going to reverse. So open out, lift up and around. One more time. And then slowly you can just bring your pelvis down to the mat. We're going to take that ball. Let me just adjust here so you'll have a better visual. We're going to take that ball under our, let's do it under our feet if we can. So you're going to lie on your back. You're going to put it under, actually under your ankles is a better place. If it's under your feet, the ball's going to be a little too far away from you. So more to the ankles, but not the knees. Arms will be down. We're going to go into some hip lifts here. Flat back, so pelvic bridging, I should say, with the legs out. We've done this one before. You're just going to lift up and then lower back down. Exhale, lift and lower back down. Sometimes the oldies are the best. This one's really good because it just brings everything together, stabilizes you. This is like your good standing posture when you're here. Notice how that feels, belly's in. That's your standing posture. Not too rigid, but firm and strong. Okay, not too firm. Here you can be a little firmer, but when you're standing, you just want to feel everything balanced like a buoy in water. It can bobble, it can move, it can adjust, but it's still upright. And it won't break. Let's go for 4 more if you can. Ribs stay in, shoulders stay anchored. Use the glutes and hamstrings, lift them up. Press through the shins. Sorry, the calves. Sorry, lost count. Last one, hold it up here. We're gonna hold it for 5, 4, firm everything, 3, 2, 1. Lower on down. Bend your knees so that your feet, so your legs are basically 90 degrees. Now the ball is not all the way to your bottom. It's out just a bit. So 90 degrees with the legs, and your pelvis is on the mat. Okay, so the legs aren't way out here. Do have an imprint of your back into the mat, meaning your back is touching the mat. The arms are going to go alongside you. We're going to peel your pelvis off here. Just like we did standing, that little pelvic tilt, scoop, and lower. And the legs are close together for this one. Still. Empty out your ribs. Exhale, scoop. If you want more challenge, send those arms up. Exhale, scoop. Keep it going. Let's go for 2 more. On the second one, we're going to stay up there. Now this one, stay up. Now you can choose to just stay here if you want. You do not have to do anything extra. Otherwise, we're going to extend out and pull it in, just like we did when we were on our hands and knees, or well, in a plank position. Push it out, pull it in. If you need more stability, put your hands down. Let's go for 4 more. Exhale it in, pull it in. Squeeze the sponge behind your knees and lower your spine down. Drape your legs over your ball or place your feet flat on the mat. I just realized that I didn't give you a cue if you were doing this on the mat. You would have had to just hold it up there or slowly extend and bend those legs. You just wouldn't have been able to go so far. I think most everybody who's watching this does have a ball up. Side to side, nice and easy. Make sure you're breathing here. And then come back to the center. From here, we're going to roll to your side. You're going to come to a seated position. Ball is going to be out in front of you. I'm going to use the smaller ball just so you can see better, hopefully. All right, so legs wide, just like we did when we were standing. We're going to go into a spine stretch here. So sitting up, you need to sit on a block or bend those knees, hands on the ball. Arms are going to go out, and we're going to round, press into the ball a bit, and roll back up. Pull those elbows in, stretch those arms, dive into your t-shirt, reach out. Full spine stretch, roll back up. And again, roll. Stretch. And back up. And reach it out. And back up. Let's go for 2 more. Reach. Press into the ball. So you feel those triceps working. Lengthen that posture. Hold it up at the top. Left hand on your ball. Right hand can be to the hip or out to the side. We're going to reach across. And just stay to the side for now. Reach across to the right. Bend that elbow and come back in. Make sure you're pushing into that ball, activating those triceps. And reach across. And again, reach across. Inhale and exhale. Last 2. Anchor those feet, press down into the mat, and switch sides. Reach across and come back up. So we're stretching out, bend that elbow, bring it back, and reach. And stretch across, get a twist, and reach across. Let's go for 3 more of these, and reach. Last one. Come back in, grab your ball, bring your legs together. Make sure you have space behind you. We're gonna do a couple different options here. So I'm gonna hold on to my ball for now. I'm gonna roll down, keeping my feet anchored, and then I'm gonna lift up, bring the ball up. And I'm gonna roll down. Inhale at the top. That's your first one, with or without the ball. Next, stretch your legs out, pull it in. Just like we did when our feet were on the ball. Roll back, exhale, pull it in. So slide your feet, exhale, pull with the belly. And make sure those legs stay sliding out. Use the abdomen. Squeeze your inner thighs. Use your breath. Last one. Hold it here. Roll it down halfway. Twist. And twist. And twist. You can always get rid of the ball and just hold your arms. That's another option. Let's go for 2 more each side. You can lower a little more. Come back to the center. Grab, either roll it up, or if you don't have your ball, grab your thighs, roll on up, sit up tall. I need a little more space here, I think. Now, with or without the ball, we're going into rolling like a ball. So if you don't have the ball, just grab onto your thighs, find your balance, or just hold here. That's an option too. You can roll back, lift your hips, and come up. Ooh, that was not a good balance. There we go. Find your balance. If you have the ball, 2 options. We're going to find your balance, put your ball on your shins. Keep it there. Roll back and come back up. Find your balance. Roll back. Find your balance. In fact, let's just do that version here. So you keep your ball feeling while holding onto your ball. Belly to the spine. It's kind of hard to talk as we do this. I really have to breathe. Last one. Because for me, that exhale is really what helps me to get up. So I'm not going gunk gunk to get back up, because I have really compressed lower back if I don't focus on getting that length. So it's hard to talk and really get to the depth of your abdomen. So from there, we're going to go ahead and come on up onto our knees, hands and knees. We're going to bring that ball into the thigh, or just be on your knees here, and then step your left leg forward. So the nice thing about the ball, when you pull it in, you can lean on it. We're going to go and get a little hip stretch here. And just breathe here. You can rest your right hand on that ball. Left arm is going to come up, circle back and around. Keep this left hip reaching down. One more, just this direction. So we're opening our body from here. We're going to lean onto this ball with our body weight. You can keep the left hand on your thigh if that's okay, and you're going to straighten that back thigh, and then you're going to bend that back knee. So you're just shifting your weight. If this is too much, come up a little higher and just bend and extend. You can keep your weight on that ball. So see which one feels best for you. Stretching out through that back leg, finding your balance here. 3 more. Pull it in, stretch it out. Pull it in, stretch it out. Last one. Lower on down. Back to knees. Grab your ball if you can. Otherwise, just stretch the arms out in front of you. A little hinge here. Lean it back and come forward. Lean it back and come forward. Keep those shoulders in the back. Don't let them come out. Let's go for 2 more. We'll come back to these. Lean it back. And place that ball down in front of your left thigh. Put your right foot forward. Left thigh against the ball. Lean into it. But don't make sure you're not compressing your back. So feel that spot. You know, for me, if I'm not in the right spot, I just get this pinch in my back. So, you know, if you need to stay up higher today, that's totally fine. Lean into it. Take that right arm, circle up, back and around. You can add a little rotation if you wish. It'll get you a little more stretch in this left psoas. And then come back to the center, leaning forward. Now I'm not pushing my knee over my toe. I'm taking my torso forward, putting weight through the heel and the glute, hamstring, and I'm going to lift that back leg. So then I'm going to bend the knee, and I'm going to extend. I'm staying low. There's lots of work in this right leg. My hips are square to the front. You can come up higher if you need to, or just avoid it and just stay in your stretch. Keep it going. 2 more. Bring it on down. Knees side by side. And grab your ball if you're using it. Lean it back. 5 more. 2 more. Get rid of your ball. That stays out of the way. And then come down onto your side. We're going to come onto our forearm and elbow. Knees are stacked. Press down through that arm. So we've been working with these. So feel that nice lift, and maybe this is all you do today, and that's totally fine. If you're going to go further, just do make sure your feet are in line with, around the same line as your hips. They're not way out here, because then you can't lift your hips. So bring them back. Lift your hips. Stretch the left arm up. See if you can hold that. If you want more, stretch your legs. Make sure your hips are square. Hold. We're going to stay here and breathe. Just breathe. Just taking a nice alignment check. Shoulders are stacked, elbow and shoulder are aligned as well. We're going to stay for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're not done yet. 1, place the hand behind the head. Now you can come down if you need to. And then we're going to twist. And then come back. Or stay with the hips lifted. Twist. And come back, just like we did before. Use the belly. You've been prepping for all this. Don't just rotate, but draw in to bring you around. 3 more. Come back down, lower the hips. Let's just pull those knees in. You're going to place your left in front of your right and side stretch over to the left. And breathe. And then reach your arms in front. Hold that stretch for a moment. Just breathe here, letting yourself melt on the exhale, letting the knees melt out as well. Using the abdomen, slowly come back up. Or do the other side. So, on your forearm, aligning elbow and shoulder, knees stacked, press down. Get yourself, use your muscles, not your joint. Lift up. Now this may be where you stay, and that's totally fine. Otherwise, you lift the hips, stay for as long as you can, or stretch your legs, lift the arm. Press down, lift yourself up. Not only is it the arm, but the waist. You're gonna hold it here, long neck. Breathe. Stretching long from top of the head to the toes, or actually to the heels. In this position, we're going to stay for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here or come down and twist. and come back. Keep going and twist. Exhale, out belly in. See how much you can bring that shoulder around. Pull it in. Make space. 3 more. Exhale. And then come back up. Cross your right ankle in front of your left. If that's doable for you. Or just sit with the legs out in front of you. Side stretch to your right. And breathe. Make sure you're not arching your back here. Pull the belly. Feel like your sits bones are dropping down. Not rounding back though, but not arching out. Right there, stable. As you reach over. So you ground through your sits bones. You lift up out of it to create space in your neck and shoulders. And then reach it forward. And breathe here. Just breathe. Melting with every exhale if you can. And slowly come back up. Bring your legs out in front of you. You can bend your knees, actually. I'll give you version 1. Bend your knees, place your hands behind you. We're going to go under our table here. Or you can stretch your legs out in front of you. Press down, open that chest. Again, another one we've been working with. Press down. So either table, lift the hips, and we're going to hold it here. We're just going to hold today. Otherwise, point your toes, lift up. You could do this also with your feet flexed. So choose whichever, feet flexed or toes pointed. Hold it up, just like when we were on that ball, pressing down. Press down, see how it feels now as we stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower on down. From here, we're going to roll ourselves all the way down, belly, 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 belly. Pull your right knee into your chest. Hug it in. Relax your shoulders. Just breathe. And then you're going to bend your left knee. We're going to go into a figure 4 stretch. So cross your right ankle over that left knee. Pull that left thigh to your chest. Grab on behind the thigh if you're able to. Or put your foot up on the wall or a bed or chair. So you don't have to crunch your shoulders to get it. And breathe. Make little circles here. With your pelvis and your hips. Reverse your circle. Come back to the center. Keep the shape. Put your left leg down. Cross your right thigh over the left. If you're sitting in a chair, arms are going to be out. Let your legs go to the right. So you're getting a nice stretch through this left side. Use your belly, bring it back. And again, over to the right. So you're getting this one long diagonal stretch. And then you use your belly to bring it back. Knees first, hip, waist, shoulder stays anchored. And then to come back, it's waist, ribs, waist, hip, and knees. One more time. Hold it out here. Stretch your left arm up a little higher. So you have now a diagonal line from your left hand out to your right knee or both knees. And stay here and breathe. And then using the abdomen, bring yourselves back. Let's switch sides. Stretch your right leg long. Pull your left thigh into your chest. Hug it in. And breathe. And then bend your right knee. Place your left ankle on your right thigh. Pull that thigh to your chest. Hug it in. And just breathe here. Make little circles if you can. Back to the center. Give it a little extra tug. And then from there, you're gonna place that foot down, the right foot down, cross the left knee over the right. Arms wide, let your knees go to the left, and your hip comes off your waist, but your right shoulder stays down. And then return back to the center. Don't use your back. Let your knees go. Think of the joint, the bones doing this, but then on the return, think of the abdomen. Upper ab, upper right rib cage, belly, knees, hips. Hips, knees, excuse me. Knees over hip, waist, then ribs, waist, hip, knees. Stay out there. Hold it here. Stretch your right arm a little higher to the right top diagonal. So you have one long line from the right hand out down towards the knees. If you were to draw a line. And then control, so you're not arching your back or completely giving into gravity. Use your belly to bring yourselves back. Uncross your legs. Pull the knees into your chest. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, curl your head and shoulders up off the mat into a little ball. Empty that air out. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, curl everything into a little ball. Really empty it out. Last one. Give a little tug. You certainly don't have to lift the head. And then stretch everything long. Stretch. If you have a big gap in your lower back, see if you can close that gap. Arms and legs, reach, reach, reach. And then let it all go. Feel free to stay here as long as you wish. We're going to end it there for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Please, feedback is always welcome, and feel free to tell your friends and invite others. Thanks so much.